When I'm thinking of projects that I want to demonstrate, I always like to find something that's relatively simple, doesn't need a lot of tools, and items that are easy to find. So for this project, we're going to need a piece of scrap wood, 3 old spoons, scrap leather, a hammer, gonna need a drill, and an anvil. That's a fun thing to play with. Okay, so the concept for this is really, really simple. It's going to be these 3 spoons mounted to this piece of wood. I'm gonna bend the spoon so that it holds a little candle, a little tea light. To do that, that's where the anvil comes into place. Now, some people don't have an anvil, totally understandable. If you don't, you can always use a big block of wood like this. This is from a fence post left over. It was in the garage, just kind of grab that. What we're looking for is something that's got a bit of an angle here to bend the spoon down, okay? Now these are real silver spoons that I found at the secondhand store. So if you are lucky enough to find them, you just keep your eye out. You know, I always like to visit the secondhand stores regularly, just for certain items. Whenever I see any kind of silver utensils, I pick them up right away. You could also maybe, you know, you could maybe steal them from your grandmother's cutlery chest of her fancy stuff. No, don't do that. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way. To do this, you're gonna wanna make sure you're wearing some kind of, you know, safety goggles. I wear glasses, so that's going to protect my eyes because the tarnish on these spoons can come off. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this type of project. So the idea here is we want to bend this way. So it's shaped like that. So it's shaped like an L like that, right? Fortunately, the silver, especially when you get real silver utensils, it's quite soft, actually. And as you can see, I'm really just trying to figure it out right now because I haven't done this before. So we're doing this together for the first time. It's, like I said, it's really soft. So a lot of times you can just hold it and bend it right down. Just like that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And then the idea is I'm going to mount it to the piece of wood. Ta-da! Like that. Super simple. Okay? This one I've already drilled a little hole right through the center here. To do that, a couple of things you can try. So let's start with a new spoon. One thing that I did was I grabbed my handy drill and I use a bit that's made for metal and hold it securely in place. This is where this chunk of wood is really going to come in place because when you drill right through, and it's going to drill into the wood as opposed to right into your work table. Going to hold it securely and just start slow. Okay, so that takes a bit of time, which is all right. Careful, these little silver slivers, they're sharp. You got to be careful about that. They can get into your skin. They can be quite, can cut you. Or you can take an awl and really go to town. Just start hammering like crazy here. So by drilling first, I sort of created a little pilot so this thing doesn't go bouncing around all over the place. And then, as you can see, I've gone right through here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I have. I've gone right through it. Beep, boop, boop. Then I take the drill again and see, there we go. Right through to the wood. Got a nice, simple hole. And if you find whatever it is you're going to mount your spoon to the wood with, see, this hole is probably not large enough. Yeah, no. So I'm going to have to change a bit and just go a little bit bigger. But when you're starting off, it's really good idea to start with a smaller size drill bit first and then work your way up, especially when you're drilling metal. So let me just make this a little bit bigger with the next size up drill bit. There we go. It makes a nice, ooh, it gets hot. Ooh, didn't think about that. On the back here, it's going to be a little bit sharp, so be very careful about that. You can take a little bit of sandpaper, clean that off, but it's going to be mounted onto this piece of wood, so nobody's going to be able to touch that side anyhow. Now, when it comes to mounting the spoon, what I found in all of the stuff that I keep, you know, because I keep everything, these are old brass screws. It's better to use a screw because it's going to secure the spoon to the board a lot better, a lot more secure as opposed to a nail. But I didn't want a brand new screw because, you know, the old spoon, the old board, you don't want to put a shiny new fastener, right? So I had these old brass screws, which are going to look great, I think. And if you don't have something like that, you could get your hands on, these are upholstery tacks. So you're going to kind of have this brass finish. And that'll look nice, I think. Or if you are stuck with just using some regular nails or regular screws, you could add a little bit of paint or something just to sort of flatten down that shiny, brand new silver look. Because I don't think that's going to look very good with this project. Okay, so pretty easy to mount. And I'll show that to you next. All right, so to attach this to the board, again, this project is super simple. The idea is just to screw the spoons right into the wood. I have to decide which side of this board I want to use. This side is a little bit more clean and this side is a lot more weathered. This was an old fence plank. We changed our fence out in our backyard, and this was the leftover wood. So again, I reiterate, I don't throw anything out. So I've had fun using these planks for a number of projects. They've come quite in handy. So I love old wood. At first I thought I liked the clean side. You know, looks pretty good. But then when I flipped it over, I think I like the more weathered side. You can use a measuring tape to, you know, figure out exactly, you know, but it's supposed to be old and antique, so I'm just going to do it by eye. And actually, you see this little knot right here? This is where a screw, I like that look, so I don't want to cover that up. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe hang it like this. I think I'll change that around a little bit. Sometimes you don't know until you actually get it up on the wall and you kind of go, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that, but yeah. So semi-center, somewhat equally spaced apart, and that should do it. So then I'm just going to mark where the holes are. And then, if all goes well, get my handy drill. My handy drill. Gotta love your handy drill. Oops. So tiny. It's teeny tiny. Where'd the hole go? There it is. Okay, put that in place. Alright, I got this. I'm not gonna go very fast because I don't want to strip the screw, so I'm just gonna go slow. Especially with brass screws are, well, typically very soft. There, that's on there pretty good. I mean, it's only going to be a candle. It doesn't have to hold a lot of weight. So that's easy, right? Easy. Okay, all that's left to do is to attach how we're going to hang this on the wall. So what I have chosen to do is use some leather. And don't need a very big piece again. Scrap piece of leather. Just want to cut a strip. Like that. I actually cut a strip ahead of time, but there we go. Now we have two. And just turn it upside down. And I'm going to use these teeny tiny little nails. It's going to be on the back, not going to see it. They are super tiny. And probably what's easiest is if I bring the block back up. Just because now the spoons are in the way. All right, you could attach this before you start the project, before you put the spoons on. You could put this on the back if you wanted to. And we got that somewhere like that. That should hold. So all I'm going to do is attach it like that. Just, you know, and that's how it's going to hang. If you don't like the look of the leather on the top, you could probably just put a piece of wire back here. Again, just use a couple of nails, wrap the wire around, make it nice and tight, and that way you don't see it. But I like the leather look. I want the leather look. Okay, so that's enough silliness. Because these guys are so tiny, I'm just going to use my needle nose pliers to hold it in place. Well, I first get it started. Now it's in the wood, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh yeah, another thing, make sure that whatever you're using is not long enough to actually go through to the other side. Right? We don't want that, do we? We don't want to see that. Okay, stay there. All right, and just do that again. Put it in place like that. Tack it in. Finish her off. Ba-boom. Easy. There we go. Now we just gotta put some candles in here, hang it on the wall.